All right, guys, I think we can finally 1000% stop worrying about lanterns. I think we've all gotten a little bit nervous based on some of the things that we've heard James Gunn say, and that's fair because let's face it, DC, Warner Brothers, they've done us dirty quite a bit over the last few years. So yeah, we're going to be a little worried. That's okay. But based on the news that came out this weekend and all the other things that we've heard over the last few months, it feels like we're good. So let's just go over a couple of those concerns and talk about why it seems like we're going to be okay. So the show's going to focus on the young Green Lantern, John Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, who's going to be great, and then an old grizzled Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler. Obviously, it's not great that Chandler's going to be this older Hal Jordan where, yeah, maybe we're not going to see as much Hal Jordan as we would like. I don't know. But it's not enough to make me say, oh, this show's gonna suck. They're two intergalactic cops. There's gonna be that older cop, younger cop dynamic, and it's an Earth-based mystery. That's another thing that I think got a lot of people a little concerned. James Gunn comes out, he says it's gonna be grounded. What does that mean? Is it gonna be like The Penguin? Because in general, I prefer my comic book movies and shows to actually seem like comic books. The Penguin was really good. The Batman was really good. But overall, especially when it comes to the DCU, I don't think we're looking for that kind of grounded. But James Gunn has already said grounded just means it's on Earth. And I know that, well, he knows that we all want to see him flying around in space with their rings and everything. But at least in this story, they're going to be on Earth. That's how a lot of the comics are. I think maybe a lot of people are maybe more used to seeing the Green Lantern's animated series, which is really good, but I don't have any issue with this being like an Earth-based terrestrial story. And James Gunn said all he means by grounded is like, if the Green Lanterns were real, what would they be like? What would they do? Not like if they were real and they existed under our laws of physics and there were no rings that you could take and do magical super duper superhero things with. But just, you know, if these rings were real and this group was real, what would they be like? That is the recipe for a good movie. You want it to feel real. You don't want it to be too fantastical unless you're, you know, a smaller child. It just doesn't seem real enough to suspend your disbelief and really enjoy it. It becomes more like a live action cartoon than a story for adults. Now, the next big important thing, and this should have really made a lot of us not even be worried from the very start. I didn't notice this until recently because I was looking for some stuff when I was wondering about the new Swamp Thing movie, and I was looking up all these old things that they were saying about that. And I found way back when, months ago, James Gunn mentioned, he had Peter Safran talking about how it's going to be like an Earth-based terrestrial True Detectives kind of mystery. And it was almost like James Gunn knew this is going to cause a problem with the fan base because he jumped in immediately and said that ties into the greater story that we're telling, meaning the greater story they're telling with the DCU. They find this ancient horror on Earth. They're the super cops on Precinct Earth, and this all is going to tie into the bigger story. So clearly, it's not going to be that grounded. We've got this cosmic horror thing. We've got the fact that they are going to be Green Lanterns. It's going to be like, if people had these rings, what would it be like? And we don't have to worry about this being some show that's like embarrassed that it's based on comic book IP. The last big problem that I think people had and what they were worried about is we have all these original characters getting introduced. And it kind of seems like, well, what's going on here? You know, where's the rest of the Green Lantern Corps? Where's Kilowog? Where's Sinestro? Where are all the people that we really think of when we think of the Green Lanterns? And it's bad enough that Kyle Rayner's not there, but, you know, we need to see some of these folks. And while it doesn't look like Kilowog is coming anytime soon, and Kyle Rayner, I guess they're saving the best for last with that one, we do now know that Sinestro is gonna be there. Ulrich Thomsen is this Danish actor who they cast in the role. He's gonna be perfect for it. He's been in some stuff like if you watched Banshee, Blacklist. He was in Counterpart, which is a really great show that you should check out if you're into sci-fi kind of stuff. But he's a guy who's got the chops to play this guy. And the way they describe Sinestro in their official materials is a ruthless yet undeniably charming dude or something like that. So you're going to get a good dose of Sinestro. And he is a Green Lantern who turned rogue, and he's got an obsession with his former mentee, Hal Jordan. So that opens up all kinds of interesting possibilities as far as like drama within the context of this series, and potentially if there's a movie, if there's which, you know, hopefully there will be, there's just all these different things that they can build on as they tie everything together in the DCU. So I now feel confident that barring something crazy, this is at least going to be an enjoyable sort of show. You know, I mean, Creature Commandos, I wouldn't say I loved it, but I liked it. It was good. It was a promising start, and I think that this will build on that, and we're in for some good stuff, I think. Let me know what you think, if you're still worried, if you still think they're going to find some way to screw this up, and we can talk about it in the comments or head on over to the Discord. And if you want more updates like this, like and subscribe.